What is the cost of lies? It's not that we'll mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is wrong.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, you're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome back, Habbening Bros! Did you miss me? Yeah, I'm back. We're back. With crappy setup and all that kind of other stuff. I'm still technically on vacation. But I missed you all. So, I'm back. I hope everyone is doing well out there in TV land. I'm still, I'm a bit ill, honestly. But, I've got to power through it. The news waits for no man, or cabbage, or other sundry vegetable, as the famous saying by Lao Tzu, I believe, goes. His lesser known book, The Art of News, had that quote in there. It's a bit of a tough read, The Art of News, but it's definitely something that I feel I have absorbed into myself. Always a bit of a fan of Lao Tzu and his Art of News. Hope everyone's doing well. I don't have anything particularly fancy as like an intro this week because, I'm still a bit out of sorts. Still streaming from a crappy setup. I will be back at my usual, actual decent setup with like decent internet and everything in about a week. So like next Monday. So hopefully normal programming will resume then. Anyway, tonight we have, what do we got tonight? So Heathrow shut down for like a whole day. It went a bit Amstrad, bros. Heathrow was, I think it was like the longest shutdown ever. I don't know, right? The whole airport shut down for 24 hours, which was a big deal, stranding about 200,000 people everywhere. Fortunately, I was not flying on that day, which is great. Because that would have totally sucked us. Everything seems to be all right now, but of course, people are asking the really important questions, not about was this like net zero that maybe like fucked all of this up, and like why is all of the UK's infrastructure like totally decaying? No, the important question to ask is, was it the Russians? Did Putin fly over secretly on an Aeroflot jet and order somebody to nuke the Transformers and thus shut down Heathrow in retaliation for Keir Starmer's heroic stance and his coalition of the willing, of course, standing against the ravages of Putin. Yeah, there were actually a bunch of people like saying this. Personally, when I heard about it, the first thing I thought was either it's the UK's infrastructure going to shit, or probably the environmentalists, because they're the ones that have got the big grudge against Heathrow. But look, it's fine. It's fine. Do not look at the slow collapse of the system. We've got enemies to distract you. It's the Russians. It's the it's the racists. It's the it's anything other than the incompetence of your own government. That's how they do, bro. That's how they do. Secondly, what's the second story? Oh yeah, Reform UK, the erstwhile right-wing containment mechanism that is containing very, very well. That was set up with the express purpose, essentially, to make sure that the people on the right wing don't get anything that they want, in particular, anything to do with remigration. Look, we brought all those people over here at great cost to the taxpayer in order to fuck over the local British population, and we're keeping them. Right, we're keeping it. I mean, we might say we'll do stuff about it, but really, we're not doing anything about it. So there was a whole sort of thing. This has been going on for like a couple of weeks, which is why I'm covering it. Rupert Lowe, the sort of absolute Chad, probably one of the only politicians that I actually sort of respect at the moment, which probably means that he will turn around and betray everyone at the first possible moment. That's how this works. Was expelled from the Reform Party for using, language that was too strong, bros, too strong. He was actually talking about sending people back. We can't do that, bros, we can't do that. They're already here. And by the transitive property of the famous English soil, as soon as you step off the plane and you get a little piece of paper, you are invigorated with the soul of the UK and instantly become British. Everybody knows that, right? It's suffused with British values. So he was kicked out of the party, but it doesn't look like it's going too well for Nige and the crew. Although, the train's still going. This was like a big sort of scandal for a while. I'll be covering that. And finally, bros, yesterday was the 5th anniversary of the announcement of lockdowns in the UK. My God, 5 years. It's been 5 years. Can you believe it, bros? Can you believe it's been 5 years? What I really, really liked about COVID and the lockdown was the way that everything the government said was proved to be correct. They didn't go out of their way and like lie to everyone and, demonize and monster anyone who had a alternate point of view. They were just like, look, we trust the populace to make their own decisions. We're not going to treat the population like children. No, absolutely not. There are differing views on this and that's fine. No, of course not. They're like, anyone who says it was a lab leak, conspiracy theory. Yeah, it was true. Anyone who said the vaccine was dangerous, conspiracy theory. Yeah, it was true. Like literally every single conspiracy theory turned out to be true. So we're doing a bit of a retrospective on that, and then I'm gonna get out and have a lie down because I'm still feeling a bit sick. I got the norovirus. I still haven't managed to shake that bitch. I don't know what the fuck's going on, bros. It's hanging around like some kind of a conservative politician of the gut, which is probably why it's inducing this sort of like sense of nausea, and inevitable doom. Of course, I am really, I'm looking forward to going back to London so much, bros. I just, mate, without the sense of existential dread and, all the migrants everywhere. I mean, there's a bit of that here. I just don't feel it at home, bros, right? Feeling, living somewhere where I don't sort of feel in imminent danger all the time. It's just, it's just not the same, bros. It's just not the same. So I'm very, very much looking forward to going back. And I hope you will join me, at least until I get arrested for, like, speech crimes or some fucking bullshit. Anyway, let's see who we've got in the chat. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry if it's a bit jittery. Apparently my video encoder is overloading. I have no idea why. Because it's OBS, and OBS is crazy complicated. Anyway, on Rumble, we have Rat Fun King, Cthulhu Loves You. Good to see you, Cthulhu Loves You. I am enjoying your tweetage. Kavos96, Captain Crisp, good to see you too. Old Crispy Boy. Seti Sapiente, of course. Who else have we got? I think that's everybody on Rumble. Oh, it's a small, intimate gathering. Static on feed. Yeah, I know. I don't know what the hell's going on. My video encoder keeps overloading, and I've got no idea why. So I'm just gonna. It's just gonna be crap until I can get back to my proper setup. Apologies. On Odyssey, we have nobody. Well, unless you're lurking, that's okay. That's okay. And on YouTube, we have Herr Otto Stormhart, Robert Verlinden, 007, Sar, Streaky Bacon, Scarlet, and oh cool, you're back. Yes, I am back. Anybody else? Anybody? And Victorian Time Travel, although I think he has popped out. Anyway, lovely to see you all. I'm sure more people will drift in once we start resuming normal programming. Today's meme, just a quick sort of cheeky one. GM friends, time to post spicy memes and cyberbully politicians. Well, I mean, you wouldn't want to do that in the UK. The politicians are very, very sensitive over there, right? And they might get sad, and before you know it, you're up on hate crime charges. For making a politician feel sad. Wait, Yiz isn't here either. Oh, look, you know what it is? I bet I know what it is. It's daylight savings at the moment in the US, which means that for another week, there is a stupid time differential. So Yiz, if you're watching this later, I hope you're well. And all the other Ameribros that are out there. Right, let's get on with the news. Okay, let me figure this out. We start off. It was the Russians, bro. Everything bad that happens in the UK is because of the Russians. Even the horrible politicians that we've got is because of the Russians or the Chinese, right? Like, do not blame any other ethnic groups for the plight of the UK. You might get done for racism. Remember, if you want to be racist against the Russians. That is totally fine. Russia Cyber Warfare Unit. The tricky bit is finding some UK infrastructure that is working to switch it off. Yeah, it do be like that. People don't think it be like that, but it do, bros. So, there was a massive fire at Heathrow at one of the substations that supplies power. I hope video audio is working. Everything's going to shit, bros. Check it out. Tell me if this is working or not.
This created a major hazard due to the still live high voltage equipment and the nature of the oil-fueled fire. LFB was in close contact with Blue Light Partners overnight, and at 0042, the Metropolitan Police declared a major incident. This remains a very visible and significant incident. Our firefighters worked tirelessly in challenging and very hazardous conditions to bring the fire under control as swiftly as possible. As of the most recent update that I have received, approximately 10% remains alight, and we are working with SSE to safely resolve this incident. As a result of the incident, 67,000 households were left without power. Currently, 5,000 homes remain without power. There remains no power at Heathrow Airport Terminal 2 or Terminal 4. The incident caused London Heathrow to close the airport and planes to be rerouted. We continue to work very closely with our partners to minimise disruption. 10 fire engines, 2 bulk foam units and 1 high volume pump were on scene at the peak of this incident. This equates to approximately 70 London Fire Brigade personnel. Firefighters safely evacuated 29 people from neighbouring properties, and as a precaution, a 200-metre cordon was established. Working with the Metropolitan Police Service, around 150 people were evacuated to a rest centre. The first appliance was on scene within 5 minutes of mobilisation. LFB will continue.
Okay, this was a lot more boring than I thought when I was looking at this clip. Yeah, so look, basically, fire went boom. I believe I have a picture of the fire. If Twitter's going to load. Yes, this is the fire. When interviewed, the fire said that it was very, very happy to be on fire, that it was enjoying much of the delicious cooling oil, all spread all around the UK's decaying energy infrastructure, which, I mean, now that Ed Miliband's in charge of, there will be absolutely nothing fixed at all. It's going to be great. Come on. Mate, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, here we go. Man, this thing is crawling. So sorry, bros. I have got no idea what the fuck is going on with this. Now the internet's crawling. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Just, I don't, need this page to load or anything. It's not like I'm live or anything. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on, Twitter. Come on. Oh, mate, I think my computer's got the norovirus as well. What the fuck, bros? What the fuck? The stream's still working. Has Twitter gone down, bros? Is that what has happened? Oh my god. This is not good. This is not good. Fuck. Well, yeah, in other news, the fire was burning merrily. I think we can't bring you the the fire. Fucking hell. Right, that's fine. That's fine. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Oh my god, man, my machine is just crawling at the moment. Oh, look at this shit. Oh god, it's like being back in the 90s. I can see myself roboting. Sorry, bros. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So air travelers face further disruption as Heathrow reopens after fire. Turns out it was basically fine. Heathrow reopened after a couple of days. Oh mate, I think this window is beach balling my entire computer. Yep, that's what's doing it. It's just one random window that's decided to fuck up my computer. Yeah, it's hogging my memory. Yes. Right. So it looks like it's back, basically. Oh no, now of course everything's frozen. Fuck. Here we go. Blaze at a local electricity substation caused a power outage that closed the airport in the early hours of Friday morning and forced inbound flights to revert to other hubs such as Paris and Amsterdam. Basically, at its height, 70 firefighters were tackling the inferno, which began shortly after midnight on Thursday and ignited 25,000 litres of cooling oil. You would think they would use something other than flammable oil to cool a power transformer. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they could use CFCs or something. I don't know. So basically, right, the power went down to the whole of Heathrow, not just one terminal. The whole airport was down. They closed it down for 24 hours. This is an unprecedented situation. We have not seen a closure of Heathrow on this scale for many years. Well, I can't remember the last time this happened, so long bloody time. However, investigators examining the cause of the fire do not believe that criminal or hostile state activity played a part, according to people familiar with the matter. Now, I don't know whether it's in this article, but I was doing a bit of research on this. And the power transformer, the substation, was basically operating at 116% capacity. Usually it's supposed to operate around like 80, so it's got a bit of like overhead. So the most likely explanation basically is that the UK's infrastructure is completely fucked and this thing like just basically blew. Apparently there was a bright white flash that could be seen from miles around and then the whole thing went up in flames. The terrorism police were originally investigating, being like, it could be a bit of the terrorism. If you've been following sort of like some of the political stuff in the UK, there's been a bit of a talk about, civil war. I need my Tim Pool beanie for this shit. Civil war, bros. And that, white supremacist groups might target electricity infrastructure. What about the Muslims? I just love how, like, basically, right, like, in the mind of the university academic, when it comes to civil unrest in the UK, literally the only group that has any agency or plan whatsoever are the white supremacists, the racists, the people who don't live in the cities, all of the diversity, all of the Muslims. They're just, maybe they've got a point. Maybe their plan is just to sit back and wait for the collapse of the system and then just, mop up when everything's done. The closure following the failure of one local substation also raised questions over Heathrow's resilience and sustainability, and whether other parts of the UK's national infrastructure are similarly vulnerable. Yeah, probably are. I keep hearing that the entire UK energy infrastructure is basically hanging on with like rubber band and sellotape at the moment, and that if there weren't sort of like this, small group of highly committed people, the entire thing would just, fall over essentially. Stumbling. Baz from the pub is the major threat to peace in the West somehow. Yeah, that's exactly right, stumbling. Look, I've talked with Baz. He's a scary guy, mate. He might look like a cuddly dude when he's like, a couple of pints in. But he's a scary bloke, mate. It's just him. It's just, the Bazzawaffen, basically, right? So yes, they told the BBC, the incident does raise questions about infrastructure resilience. Oh, you think? The biggest airport in Europe just like literally went down for 24 hours, right? 200,000 people inconvenienced, right? I mean, this is the real question, right? Like, they want to blame this on the Russians so fucking hard, right? Or someone, or just anyone other than, oh yeah, we let the entire country like decay and it's just, it's just going to bullshit. Let's see what we've got. Is Twitter going to work now? Oh, it's all right. Ed Miliband was asked about whether this might be net zero, and he was like, nah, definitely not. Net zero is awesome, mate.
Infrastructure that a fire like this can happen and it can have such an enormous impact.
Well, look, again, I'm reticent to sort of jump to conclusions about what it says. As I understand it from the National Grid, there was a backup generator, but that was also affected by the fire, which gives a sense of how unusual or unprecedented it was. There is a third backup, a second backup, if you like, which they are seeking to use to restore power. So, there are backup mechanisms in place, but given the scale of this fire, the backup mechanisms also seem to have been affected. But obviously, with any
critical infrastructure.
So, look, it's not us, right? It's not net zero. How would you even, think that? Just in case you weren't aware, that's Red Ed Miliband, who is the son of a famous Marxist academic. So, it's entirely possible that he is deliberately overseeing the decaying of the energy infrastructure in order to instantiate the communist revolution. I mean the sustainable. I mean the circular economy. Oh my God! Please don't kill me. How dare I say such things? But of course, the son, the famous sort of like rag sheet. Now this is quite interesting, right? This came out about 5 days ago, right? Now I'm a bit sussy about this, but I'm gonna cover it just to give you a taste of what seems to be coming down the pipe. So it's quite interesting at the moment watching the UK government, right? The powers that be, the UK political elites, right? Trying to juggle three disparate things that are mutually contradictory. So war with Russia, right? War with Russia. Net zero and unlimited mass migration, right? Now they kill all the whites, basically, right? Okay. Now, they really, really want all three of these things, right? But it seems that at the moment, what they really want more than anything else is war with Russia. And you can't really have a net zero and do a war at the same time, bros, right? It's just a bit, I mean, look, I know you've got all those environmentally sustainable missiles and stuff like that, right? And like, fucking dolphin safe, like barbed wire and all this kind of like shit. But really, if you want to fight a land war with Russia, and it is going to be a land war because, how are they going to do it from the ocean? They're going to need to curl back on net zero. Now, this article alleges, the document itself is not in here, that there has been a leaked document that says the government says that doing net zero will wipe 10% off economic growth by the end of the decade. I mean, economic growth at the moment is basically flat or under zero, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're like fudging the numbers, to be perfectly honest, right? My estimation, right, just from how it feels on the ground, is that the economy is contracting by like a couple of percent, right? So I don't know, like how much worse can it get? Oh, it's fine. Shut the fuck up. You're racist, right? It's fine. It's fine. Look, I've got a consulting job with the government. I got tons of money, so I don't know what the fucking problem is. The UK's national debt would skyrocket as its anemic economy is shunned by investors. Yeah, this is already happening, by the way. The poorest in society would carry the burden. That's okay. They will soon be eligible for, assisted dying. So that's fine. So apparently the never before published Whitehall assessment of the effects of net zero on the British economy has been leaked to The Sun. However, they don't actually link it, so I have not been able to verify this. It contains warning that poor planning for going carbon neutral by 2050, poor planning, not like the fundamental premise, comes with the potential risk of destabilizing the financial system. Oh, goody! Oh, goody! Oh, there's nothing I like more than a bit of destabilization of the financial system for no fucking good reason whatsoever. Hundreds of billions of pounds worth of asset around the world are being retired up to 30 years before the end of their shelf life, which could cause market meltdown due to sudden drops in the value of firms, including those from Britain and overseas companies who invest here. The report warned that the financial risk of these stranded assets, such as power plants, chemical factories, and even aircraft, is, quote, not yet fully reflected in the company's values. Ooh, that's not good. As a result, an abrupt transition could act as a sudden shock, resulting in a sudden drop in value and presenting a risk to investors and shareholders. Oh no, not my shareholders. What about my stakeholders? Don't worry, bros, the stakeholders will be fine. It'll be the shareholders that'll get fucked. The document cites warnings from analysts at McKinsey who say up to 2.1 trillion worth of assets globally may have to be set aside with a major knock-on effect on Britain. Oh, fine, right? It's fine. Oh my God, it's so retarded. Disruption caused by the transition could result in unemployment and skills mismatches with negative knock-on impacts for growth, productivity, and the ability to reach net zero. Oh, we got to reach net zero, bros. It also raises alarm that UK is poorly placed for the transition, and now America isn't doing it, and now China isn't doing it, and now India isn't doing it. But we are basically woke North Korea, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So they reckon 1% annually over 10 years will be knocked off GDP. It's going to be more than that. It's going to be more than that. I don't know. They don't link the actual thing, and it is The Sun, but maybe this was deliberately leaked because they're going to have to row it back. I don't know. But of course, the real question of the day about Heathrow: if Russia was behind the Heathrow fire, is it an act of war? Are we going to war? We're going to war with Russia. You're going to war with fucking Russia. Right. I mean, you're the UK, a sea power, used to be a sea power, that is basically has all of your military power projection on the sea, and you are proposing to go to war with Russia, a land power that has all of their stuff on the land. Has anyone thought this through? Is anyone... Hello? Is anyone actually Like, I mean, oh my, has everyone suffered a fucking blow to the head or something? Oh my God, fucking hell. So this is from, where is this fucking Telegraph? Yeah. So this is like the day after the Heathrow fire. There will be one overriding hope inside Downing Street as counter-terror investigators examine the wreckage of the North Hyde electrical substation. Please let it not be connected to Russia. Why? Because it'll show that you're like fucking pussies and you can't fucking do shit. What are you gonna do? You're like, we'll send some ships. We'll send some ships into the Black Sea, and maybe we'll put a ship off Kaliningrad in the Baltic. Yeah, and then what are you gonna fucking do? What are you gonna get the ship to like Moscow or something? No, you're fucking not. You're gonna need a land army. None of you study for all of the shit that they're always talking about World War II. They always just seem to gloss over the bit about don't ever fucking invade Russia. It's fine. Be fine. Who gives a fuck? So yeah, it's hard enough having to field questions over why a single fire at a single station shut down the world's busiest airport for 24 hours. Yeah, because it's not like you can tell them the truth. That all the money for like infrastructure and upgrades has been like siphoned off into like, you know, boondoggles and quangos and all that kind of other shit. But if detectives find evidence of sabotage, and in time proof that it traces back to Moscow, it could pose a fundamental challenge to the security architecture of the Western world. What fucking security architecture? The Americans out. You just, fuck these people. Imagine you are Sir Keir Starmer. I still can't believe Starmer is a sir. In such a scenario, one might emerge in time, even if Russia is not to blame here. First of all, you would face the challenge of proving to the world that Vladimir Putin's regime truly coordinated an attack. That would have been easier before the outbreak of the war in Ukraine. When Russia wanted to assassinate Sergei Skripal on the streets of Salisbury, it sent agents from the GRU loaded with Soviet-era nervate. No, they didn't. I was just reading like a big fucking research dossier on the Skripal poisoning. It was clearly an inside glow job, right? Like, I have never seen such a sloppy glow job, right? It was just nom. Oh, just it's so retarded, right? Like, so just as a little aside, right? There was a trial, an inquest that came out, right? Supposedly, the dudes that had their Novichok, right? They discarded it in like a perfume bottle, which was then picked up by a homeless guy and then given to his girlfriend, and she like got poisoned with it and died. And the establishment was really, really keen that there wasn't any like questions about this, right? And then eventually an inquest was forced. It became very, very clear why they didn't want any questions about it, because none of the story makes sense, right? The homeless dude like literally spilled, he can't even remember where he got this bottle of Novichok from. He spilled a whole bunch of it on himself. He was like totally fine. His girlfriend like basically like keeled over and died. Neither of the Skripals suffered like very, very serious brain damage, which is exactly what you would expect from like a large overdose of an organophosphate nerve poison. It's retarded, right? The whole story is fucking retarded. Like, my best guess basically is that this was a sloppy glow job in order to basically split any links between Russia and the UK in preparation for this war, because they like to plan ahead. But as the West has expelled so many Russian spies in the years since then, Putin now relies on unprofessional foreign gangsters to carry out the wave of sabotage attacks across Europe. Well, it's a good thing that Europe didn't just let in a whole shitload of unprofessional foreign gangsters then, isn't it? It's fine. Fortunately, of course, we have the safest borders in the world, and we would never let in like 1 million fighting-age men from like the worst countries all around the world, desperate for money and who have no attachment to our country. We would never do that. Others are Bulgarian spies. Others are British nationals. Oh, God. If the Kremlin truly wanted to carry out an attack on critical infrastructure in the West, it would likely use a middleman. After middleman in an attempt to obscure its origins. Hybrid warfare, Putin knows, works best when nothing rises above the threshold for accountability. Yeah, that's also exactly like what Western intelligence agencies do as well. I mean, I'm just saying, right? Like, you know, this idea that it's only Russia that does hybrid warfare is fucking bullshit, right? Like, well, we would never do something like that. Yeah, you fucking would. You totally would. So blah, 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 blah. Would a hybrid attack on a NATO member state trigger Article 5? All comes back to fucking Article 5. They're so hot to trigger Article 5. Like, they just, you know, I'm convinced that there's like army people going to bed every night just fucking, you know, thinking, oh, Article 5, they're getting like, you know, getting fucking hard on, oh, we can finally go to war with Russia, kill off all those like surplus white boys. It's fine, bros. Fine. Anyway. So yeah, that's the general tenor and thrust. This is really funny. So this is Dmitry Medvedev. The what is he? He's basically like the second in command of Russia. And he tweeted out, I'm looking forward to Russia being blamed for Heathrow fire. What are you waiting for, Starmer? He's not fucking wrong, is he? Right? What else have we got? Oh, it turns out, bros, it wasn't terrorism. After all, the counterterrorism police was originally investigating counterterrorism. Officer Plod from counterterrorism. We're very, very serious police, investigating the counterterrorism. But the force said that the fire was not believed to be suspicious. London Fire Brigade is now leading the inquiry, which will focus on the electrical distribution equipment. Okay? So basically, it was just probably taxed and blew up. They're now trying to like nobble the guy who was like running Heathrow, basically, saying that he went to sleep and got like a few hours sleep during the crisis because he knew he'd have to like handle the shutdown. And they're like, oh, how dare, how could you even go to sleep? You know, fucking, you know, whatever. Anyway, second story. I hope you're all enjoying this show. This is streaming on the edge. Oh, Entropy, really? Oh my God, fucking wait. Oh yes, and look, please send money. I need it for mental health beers. My mental health is suffering, and I need beers in order, for my mental health support. I actually have like an emotional support beer. Every so often, but it's quite expensive. You've got to train them. Not just any beer will do, right? An emotional support beer. It's a very, very specialized beer. So please send money for emotional support beer. We have from Sick. Let me some confetti. Thank you very much, Sick. Why don't we just tax Russia? Oh, indeed, absolutely. Why don't we just tax Russia? Well, I mean, there is that 300 billion of like gold and other like actual physical assets that they've got lying around that they are desperate to steal off the Russians. The problem is, of course, that doing that is basically an act of war and would massively undermine sort of like faith in the international finance system, right? No one is going to want to park their money in London if the English are just like, oh, we don't like you, we're going to like take your foreign reserves. It's very, very, yes, there was no ding. Thank you very, very much. I think you're new. Well, thank you very much for the entry. I appreciate it, mate. So we move on to reform. Fucking window's like too large. Sorry about that. Rupert Lowe, Reform tried to silence me on migration. Yes, they did. Suspended over bullying allegations. He denies the MP claims he was targeted for criticising Nigel Farage's leadership. Now, this is basically exactly what the fuck's been going on, right? Farage is a massive wet blanket of containment. He has absolutely no intention of giving the sort of right-wing voters what it is that they want. None at all, bros. It's not in his ballpark. He just believes, we have to make peace with Islam. Oh, it was Stumbling, Entropy. Thank you, Stumbling. Thank you very much, mate. And people are starting to notice this, basically, because Rupert Lowe keeps coming out and being, like, really based and saying, like, look, these people don't belong in our country. Why the fuck aren't we sending back foreign criminals? Why the fuck are we giving all these people money? He I don't know whether he's actually worked out what the plan is or not, but he can't be far away from, like, realizing this is, like, a deliberate thing, right? Or, you know, maybe he does, and he's just like, you know, I obviously can't say the horrible truths, right? Lest people, you know, lose their fucking minds. But he has been basically saying, you know, the R word, the re-migration word, the no word, hope not hate, do not approve, bros. So as soon as basically Lowe sort of like published like an article, I think it was like in the Daily Mail or something, basically saying that reform needed to reform. Because at the moment the entire party is basically like a corporation headed by Nigel Farage and Zia Youssef, and they've got all the control, right? So the members don't have any control. There's no way to replace the leader. It's a containment shop, basically, right? It's just, you know, it's to suck all the right-wing energy into reform, and then Farage is going to do exactly the same thing that he did like twice before. He'll win an election and then he'll quit, and the entire thing will like crumble, and everyone will be like, told you so, fucking, oh, MK, you're back. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, we've got a few other people here. Schrodinger's Gaffney, Stumbling, Linda Hunter, Evil Author 1776, Total Blackout Painting. Oh, it's lovely to see you all, guys. Yeah, I hope you got the timing right. Remember, emotional support beers. Send on Entropy. Cha-cha. So, I mean, Lowe has committed many sins. The biggest sin of all, of course, is being more popular than Nigel Farage. Farage, of course, only has himself to blame because he's not doing what his electorate actually wants him to do. But yeah, what would the electorate know? Anyway, in a post on X on Sunday, Mr. Lowe also called for 1 million illegal immigrants to be deported. You can't say that. Oh my God, you can't say that. They have just as much right to be in England as anybody else. Blah, 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 blah. And then basically after that happened, Farage accused Lowe of all this like weird, crazy shit. It was like, he's abusive, and no, and he said bad words and reported him to the police and all this. Like, basically he did exactly the kind of shit that Hope Not Hate does, which is not surprising because Reform has links to Hope Not Hate and gets Hope Not Hate to vet all of their candidates. Hope Not Reform? Reform Not Hate? Lord and Saints preserve us. This is your right-wing party. Fuck. Streaky Bacon. Rupert Lowe leaving Reform will be like when Robbie Williams left Take That. The four lads left behind were never as good. Well, exactly. That's absolutely true. Hopefully, Rupert Lowe will go on to have a very successful solo career, much like Robbie Williams. However, not only was Rupert Lowe more popular than Farage, but he refused to apologise. Can you imagine that, being targeted by Hope Not Hate type people and refusing to apologise, bros? He was just like, I stand behind every word. And of course, because of Twitter, they can't just silence him. So he was coming out with his statements, and like tons of people were like agreeing with him and all this kind of like other stuff. It's crazy. And you know, look, Farage doesn't want to talk about the rape gangs. Farage is like, no, there's no way back. He talked about the rape gangs. We're not going to do it. This is the kind of like stuff that Rupert Lowe was saying.
Of young working class white girls by mainly Pakistani men on an industrial scale. That is a rotting stain on our country's history. I do not say this lightly, but it makes me ashamed to be British. We failed those girls, and heads must roll. I want deportations, not just for the rapists, but also the family members who are aware of their heinous crimes. If that results in tens of thousands of deportations, then that is what must happen. The mass rape of young working class white girls by mainly...
Oh my God, Rupert, you can't say that. You can't say that. It was day culture that they covered up their family members raping all them white girls. Really, it's only fair. After all, right, their ancestors were involved in colonialism. Yeah, so apparently Farage said, don't use the word repatriation, don't use the word mass deportations, none of that kind of stuff. Isabel Oakeshott, does anyone know, who the fuck is she? She's some fucking journo. So basically, when this originally kicked off, they thought it was going to go all sweet, right? That Lowe would be gone. But it just kept blowing up and blowing up and blowing up. What a difference a week made.
That Rupert Lowe has done a really good job in some areas as an MP, and he works really hard, and that's great. But B, can we just end this stupid row? You know, because there are so many big things that the Reform Party needs to do to save the country, and so many people are putting their greatest hopes for saving the UK into Reform, and every day that this horrible fight goes on is a day that is a distraction from the main business.
1 week earlier.
Really sweet, isn't it? Poor little Rupert. He's quite new at politics. He's really new in the House of Commons, and you know, this is what happens to people who are amateurs at politics, and they become MPs, and suddenly they think, yay, look at me, I think I could be Prime Minister. They all do it, bless him. That Rupert Lowe is...
Oh, bless him. Little Richard Tice thinking he's going to give the electorate what they want. Don't you know that's not how politics works? You don't give the electorate what they want. The electorate don't know what they want. I mean, they say they want less mass migration, but would they even know what less mass migration even means? So apparently Isabel Oakeshott is Tice's wife, or bit on the side or something like that. Yeah, so there you go. Captain Crisps, yeah, Fizz, chat is glad you're back. If nothing else, you're making chat happy. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad I can give the chat a mass happy ending. This was really, really funny. Farage eventually got sick of being asked about it. He's trying to put it all behind him now. I don't know what's going to happen with Lowe, though, right? Like, you know, maybe he'll start his own thing. Maybe he'll join the Homeland Party. Homeland are looking pretty good right now, right up until the point, presumably, when they all get arrested, you know, for being too right-wing.
Went on, people started asking more about Rupert Lowe, and how shall I put it? Nigel Farage was getting increasingly frustrated with some of the journalists.
Hi Nigel, Rupert Lowe's threatened legal action over reforms claims. It's interesting whether you'd be prepared to fight him in court on that. If he took you to court, would you fight him in court?
I shall look forward to it, thank you.
Nigel,
just quickly on the same issue as Amy here. Do you think that Rupert Lowe is responsible for...
Yes.
Sorry, Rupert did say that he was asked to tone down his speech on that.
That's the question.
Oh, I'm bored. Oh, I'm bored. You know, I just removed the person who was actually, you know, accurately representing the people in our party. Oh, I'm so bored. Fuck Farage on it. Like, what a fuck. Oh, God, the containment is real. And this only snowballed and got worse. This is Chris Littlewood. He was basically the head of one of Reform's branch offices. And they all quit. This is 10 days ago. I wrote a letter to Zia Yusuf on Twitter. This is why Twitter is now so important, because a lot of the time people just make their public statements on Twitter. And then the people who are, you know, they can't say, oh, I didn't receive your letter. Oh, I'm so sorry. Or just, you know, or just stick it in the bin, or, you know, delay it for a week. It's out there. Everyone can see it. It's you know, it's a very, very interesting sort of dynamic. So Chester North, Neston, Ellesmere Port and Bromborough, we are all resigning from our posts in concert with and with immediate effect. And apparently this isn't the only one. I haven't been like really paying attention to this over the last couple of days. But yeah, the branch people are resigning. Don't worry though, Reform is hiring a bunch of people from the Conservatives and the Lib Dems to take their place. So, you know, it'll be fine, bros. It'll be fine, right? So apparently a bunch of WhatsApp messages leaked as well. Farage said that Lowe was contemptible when asked by the activist, who was not currently a party member, why Reform had not allowed a lawyer to complete an investigation before suspending him. Farage said it is because he is damaging the party just before the elections. Disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah, so there are elections coming up. And they basically, you know, they wanted to get rid of Lowe before the elections came out. Presumably they were worried that they might actually do well in the elections, I guess. And what the hell is this? Oh, yeah. And of course, this is Farage basically saying, you want border controls, you want remigration. You're just a Russian bot, bro. You're just a Russian bot. You don't even exist. He's literally hope not hate. Like, just in a fucking, blue tie.
Nigel Farage has gone soft on immigration. What has Rupert Lowe said that is a problem?
Yeah. Oh, deporting entire communities, some of whom are born in Britain, I think is, how shall I put it diplomatically? Tricky, wrong, actually, at every level. And I think, look, I don't want asylum seekers. I don't want young men crossing the English Channel. Hey, Julia, I was the one that blew the whistle on this over 4 years ago. But the idea that you take them, dump them on a Scottish island with a minimal amount of food and let the midges do the rest. I mean, this is all language that's been used in the last couple of weeks.
No one is saying that, Nigel, you fucking disingenuous retard. What they are saying is that foreign nationals who are currently imprisoned in the UK should be sent back to their home countries and thus not be a burden on the UK taxpayer, and that people who are in the country illegally should be yeeted, preferably via trebuchet. But I believe that, it has been decided that trebuchets are a bit more expensive, so they're probably just going to fly them back.
And frankly, it's just not responsible language.
You don't think that there's an appeal there because it's online? People are applauding and very much supportive of it.
A lot of those are very new accounts, which is really interesting. So this has been taken online as an opportunity by some to try and disrupt as much as they possibly can. And there is an online community that literally want to fight a war against every Islamic person in this country. I want to fight a war against Islamism and the dangers that brings. So policy differences have got wider in the last 2 weeks, not narrower. But initially, he was suspended from the whip for being under investigation.
Mr. Farage, Christopher Carrion, Newsfist News. I have a question for you, Mr. Farage, if you don't mind. Given that the fundamental tenet of Islam is to obey and emulate everything about the life of the Prophet Muhammad, and that the life of the Prophet Muhammad and the things that you should emulate also not only involve things like hygiene, language, speech, how you should wear your beard, but also political and legal structures, how exactly do you separate Islam from Islamism? You got an answer for that? Smug little fuck? Something tells me he wouldn't appreciate that question. He'd probably be like, get that motherfucker, throw him off the Blackfriars Bridge, wrap a fucking noose around one leg, beat him soundly, and chuck him off Blackfriars Bridge. Fucking, oh God. You can't separate Islam from Islamism. It's impossible. It's impossible. But don't worry, bros. Dominic Cummings is now going to start working with Reform. So that's great, right? So, I mean, at least I guess Reform will have somebody competent, advising Farage. But, the problem, of course, with working with Dom is that he'll have a tendency to, throw you under the bus if you fuck him over. So, fucking, I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Anyway, our final story. We got another 10 minutes. It's been 5 years, bro. It's been 5 years of 2 more weeks. Yes, yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of the start of the lockdown, if you are old enough to remember that. I don't know about you, bros, but I'm still not right about that. I don't think I'm ever going to be over this shit, right? Maybe if the entire government, did a heartfelt apology and, we hung a few people from lampposts, figuratively speaking, obviously, right, in a completely legal and fair kind of a way, then that might go a little bit, towards sort of assuaging my angst loose about this. But I'm still pretty pissed about this, to be perfectly honest. And even more than the lockdown, just having everybody tell me I was fucking crazy for believing shit that later turned out to be true. I tell you what, mate, if it wasn't for fucking Telegram, I reckon I would have fucking lost my mind. I met so many fucking cool people on Telegram who helped me like through that. Just you know, just knowing that you like weren't the only person. Oh my God.
And that's why we've been asking people to stay at home during this pandemic. And though huge numbers are complying, and I thank you all, the time has now come for us all to do more. From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home. Because the critical thing we must do to stop the disease spreading between households. That is why people will only be allowed to leave their home for the following very limited purposes. Shopping for basic necessities as infrequently as possible. One form of exercise a day, for example, a run, walk or cycle, alone or with members of your household. Any medical need to provide care or to help a vulnerable person, and travelling to and from work, but only where this is absolutely necessary and cannot be done from home. That's all. These are the only reasons you should leave your home. You should not be meeting friends. If your friends ask you to meet, you should say no. You should not be meeting family members who do not live in your home. You should not be going shopping except for essentials like food and medicine. And you should do this as little as you can. And use food delivery services where you can. If you don't...
Mr. Johnson, Christopher Carrier, News Fist News. I have a question. What about all the delivery drivers like going around? Won't they be like spreading COVID? Have you considered just letting people starve to death? You know, perhaps that would be safer. Fuck, dude. I think if I could get like PTSD, like flashbacks watching this fucking shit. My God.
The rules, the police will have the powers to enforce them, including through fines and dispersing gatherings. To ensure compliance with the government's instruction to stay at home, we will immediately close all shops selling non-essential goods, including clothing and electronic stores, and other premises, including libraries, playgrounds and outdoor gyms and places of worship. We'll stop all gatherings of more than 2 people in public, excluding people you live with. And we'll stop all social events, including weddings, baptisms and other ceremonies, but excluding funerals. Parks will remain open for exercise, but gatherings will be dispersed. No Prime Minister wants to enact.
That's an interesting... Why do they keep funerals open? Just probably to like, you know, demoralize everyone basically, right? Like, oh, we don't want to ban funerals. We want everyone to know that people are dying. No weddings though. It might give people hope. Yeah, no government wants to do this, except for this government. Of course, we're very, very keen on it.
Like this. I know the damage that this disruption is doing and will do to people's lives, to their businesses and to their jobs. And that's why we've produced a huge...
Yeah, fuck you. We got an entropy. Have a dancing girl. Texas man. 2 more weeks. Yes, indeed. 2 more weeks of 2 more weeks. Dancing girl will be dancing for 2 more weeks. Thank you very much, Texas man. Much appreciated. Oh my God. It fucking makes me... sends a shiver down my spine. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not getting entropy alerts on this setup. It's a mystery. And it turns out, bros, you're never going to believe this. You're never going to believe this. I can't believe it. What about my fact checks, bros? What about our NHS? 5 fucking years this took. 5 fucking years! Oh, by the way, you know, it did actually leak from a lab. And they fucking knew. They totally knew, right? MI6 told Boris Johnson that COVID-19 was a lab leak, right? They totally told him it was a lab leak. And then, I don't know, presumably the fucking WEF called him up and was like, Mr. Johnson, we need you to, you know, Stick with the plan. The plan. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, mate. Oh my God. I'm still salty. However, bit of remoralization for you after that. Yeah. So congrats to all the people watching who didn't fall for the psyop. You are more immune to propaganda than 95% of people out there, 90-something% of people out there. Amazing. All right, they say autists are very hard to propagandize. That's why you just get women to badger them to death until they fucking kill themselves. We got another super chat. Texas man. Mr. Fist loves the BBC. Oh, I do. Love that BBC. Feeling it deep inside me, getting injected with creamy propaganda. You know that's how I do, Texas man. Right. So that's the end of the news. I hope you all enjoyed that. Let's get on with some cringe bros. Yeah, I know that Boris thing was fucking cringe as hell. But we've got some more. I hope you're ready to light your eyes on fire for this. Sadie Sapiente is going to fucking hate this one. Oh no, we got this one first. Now, Sky News has a new campaign out, bros. Hard as nails. Hard as nails. It's for men who are not afraid to show their feminine side, bros. Did you know that showing your feminine side is hard, right? That's what real men do. That's what hard men do. They show their feminine side. Check it out.
In a meeting, and an assumption was made about my sexual preferences. I found myself in a conversation the next day with a boiler repairman who decided to try and take the mickey. By the third day, I was having conversations around gender, around identity, around the role of stereotypes in society and the impact they play with men on conversations that it's so hard to normally break. By the end of that week, I realized that we were onto something and that we had a chance to break stereotypes and not nails and draw a group of men into some of the most meaningful and important conversations that affect so many aspects of society. And perhaps we can shift those rigid ideas of identity and masculinity that suggest strength, but as we can see, very often lead to weakness.
And Daniela, you got on board as well, didn't you?
I did, yes.
And so you've been painting people's nails, haven't you?
No, I've only just, to be honest, I've been doing the same thing. So I had to have the experience myself. Before I signed up to it and said, yeah, let's get this going. But I only just became a nail technician because I was just so passionate about it. And I do a lot of work with men, and I just see not enough men having meaningful conversations. And so for me, the reason I wanted to be qualified, to have the ability to do exactly what we did before, Gareth, is just sit there, paint someone's nails and have a conversation that actually means something. So talking about, what masculinity means to them, and also talk about how these rigid, the man box that we're put in often as men, how damaging it can be. And so for me, it's much more about having that richness of conversation.
Yeah, I mean, does anyone want to check this guy's early life?
and so saying. For me, it's much more about having that richness.
Just saying, right? My early life detector is it's probably nothing, bros. We got another super chat. I got a couple, actually. $3 from Stumbling. COVID wiped out my entire family mentally. Yeah, fine. Oh, mate, seriously. Like, brutal psychological warfare. And from Texas Man. Gay! Yes. I mean, how gay is that? We need to have, like, a conversation about masculinity, bros. Like... Don't worry, after you're done with that, you can go and listen to Dylan Mulvaney's new podcast. Check this shit out, my God.
Shower, on a walk, the Dylan Hour. Feeling sweet, feeling sour. I feel nothing. The Dylan Hour. My couch is open, it's better than therapy. soccer moms, all your theys and thems, all your bottom boys, my bisexual femmes. Come one and all, disassociate with me. It's free. Grab a drink, or 2 or 3. You have no friends, all good, you got me. It's the Dylan Hour. Love ya.
Yes, truly an excellent spokesperson for that group of people. Talking about mass alcoholism, disassociation, having no friends. Yeah, I mean, you know, why wouldn't you want to be part of that lifestyle, bros? Come on, it just seems like so awesome. I'm sorry I had to inflict that on you, but I had to watch it. Now you all had to watch it as well. So we got some other stuff. Who wants to go and fight for Ukraine, bros? White boys only, I'm afraid. It's against the Muslim religion to go and fight the Russians. So white boys only, bros.
It would be quite important for not just British but European soldiers to be there, to be able to make sure that there is not yet just another incursion.
There can be no peace without foreign presence, whether that be British troops, French troops, NATO troops in Ukraine.
Any peace has to be, ultimately enforced. Putin can't be trusted to keep his word, and all of Europe should be taking part, and that includes us.
If Ukraine were in NATO, would you sign up to go?
I myself am a conscientious objector. I would be, if it came down to it, I would be willing to go if it was needed.
I mean, obviously one doesn't want that to happen. I think everyone should try to prevent getting into that position. And this is why I'm not entirely sure that Ukraine being in NATO at the minute is entirely the best idea.
I'm not exactly sure I'd be physically fit enough to serve, but I'd be happy to help out in whatever way I could.
Don't worry, son. We'll get you into an army base. 6 weeks of intense physical training, some beatings, and a bit of sodomy. Fucking hand you like a, shitty like AK. Send you on the front line as a drone shield. You'll do fine, son. You'll do fine. It's always somebody else who has to go and fight the fucking war. You ever fucking notice that? I fucking hate these people. Who's ready for the digital euro, bros? You ready for central bank digital currency? Guess when it's happening? October this year, bros. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. The convenience. It's going to be awesome. Texas man, I love AK. Yes, I'm a fan of the AK as well. I'm just spitballing here.
On your second point, I tend to share your views. Nature doesn't like vacuum. And we started working on the digital euro way back. Actually, when I started my term 5.5 years ago. And I'm not claiming, parentality on the digital euro, because my colleague Benoît Cœuré had already committed a speech on this matter before I arrived. But I certainly carried on with that project, and subsequently Fabio Panetta on the board, and then Piero Cipollone, who has replaced Fabio, have taken the lead together with a very, very good team, which is focused on accelerating the pace and hopefully campaigning enough with all the stakeholders, meaning European Parliament, meaning European Council, meaning European Commission, so that we can eventually, not put to bed, but put to reality this digital euro. The deadline for us is going to be October of 25, and we are getting ready for that deadline, but we will not be able to move unless the other parties, the stakeholders, as I call them, Commission, Council, and Parliament, actually complete the legislative process, without which we will not be able to move. And I think it is critically important, and it seems to the agnostic or the skeptics, it seems to be more relevant and more of an imperative now than ever before, both on the wholesale and on the retail level, both.
Translation. we're about to go to war, and we're going to have to steal a whole lot of money from people in the EU to get that to happen. And a really good way to do that would be a central bank digital currency, bros. So fucking, there's been a bunch of this shit going around in London. People have been like putting up ads, trashing on Elon. Fucking dude. Yes, if the bar lets Nazis in, it's a Nazi bar. Well, I can't argue with logic like that, bros. Now with white power steering based, you gotta like wonder, like, this kind of shit's probably gonna like make more people want to buy a Tesla. This stuff is basically all being done by Greenpeace, by the way. So they're just, you know, they're all like Occupy Musk. They've been like putting like weird stuff on like Tesla factories, Heil Tesla, the Fast and the Führer. Oh God, so gay. Oh yeah, there's a bit of this. Check this out. Pretty good use of AI. We got another super chat from Texas Man for $5. I will not die for Israel or Ukraine. Oh, you racist. Racist Texas Man. I can't believe you would not die for our greatest allies, plural. Thank you very much. What else have we got? Oh my God. Did you know that there are Christians out there, bros? Did you know that some of those Christians like to use the phrase Christ is King? Did you know that the phrase Christ is King has anti-Semitic overtones? Well, if you didn't know that, here's a really, really stupid infomercial to explain it to you.
Since the advent of Christianity, Christ is King has been a cry for connection to the divine, a declaration of faith, a moving signal between Christians of their shared values. But what happens when it becomes a manipulation tactic designed to deceive Christians? Mentions of Christ as King have increased fivefold on platforms like X in just the past 4 years. At first glance, it would seem hopeful as people begin to reinvestigate faith in the face of increasing secularization and chaos in the world. But the NCRI, an organization at the forefront of monitoring deep trends in data, observed a striking and nefarious development around the phrase Christ is King beginning in 2021. In 2024, more than 50% of all engagements around Christ is King posts were driven by extremist influencers. The word extremist gets used a lot, and many are understandably skeptical at its use. But we're talking about people like this.
I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money.
Catholics and Christians were going missing on Passover, then they would find bodies, and they were able to trace them back to Jews. Blood libel!
Real Africans, on average, have an IQ of 65.
Posts like these achieved over 13.6 million views and more than 100,000 engagements during Easter 2024 alone. While co-opting the phrase for their toxic narrative, figures like Candace Owens and Jake Shields repeat hateful blood libels. And shockingly, by 2024, the most frequently associated term with Christ as King was the word Jew. The intent is clear: manipulate well-meaning, faithful Christians into having their beliefs tethered to psychopaths. This is nothing short of diabolical. We're caught watching Christ is King being taken by the supremacist right more and more each day. These connections matter. The spiritual, the linguistic, the interpersonal. They shape us, they shape our society, and they shape the world. So what kind of connections do we want to build? And more importantly, what kind of world will we help create? Help retake our values.
Yeah, you guys are going to be like shocked to hear this, But the NCRI is a Jewish pressure group associated with Jordan Peterson. I know. You're like very, very surprised about that. Christ is King, bros. Fucking Jesus Christ. The supremacist right. Speaking of which, this is the latest thing from Faraway People Productions. Give them a follow on Twitter. They're really, really good, and they do stuff like this, which is great.
Is the extraordinary story of Dick Whittington. His parents were faraway people, and they dreamt of a better life. They made their way to the home people's capital, where the streets were paved in gold. He grew up with his other 6 siblings in the home people's capital. The home people called him mean names, so he learned to defend himself. He studied to become a lawyer to help more of the faraway people. He specialized in faraway people's rights and even helped them in faraway places. He joined the Socialist Party and won a seat on the Home People's Council. Next, he became an MP for the Socialist Party under the rule of Teflon Tony. He had many battles with Teflon Tony over the oil wars with the Sand People. Gordon the banker made him the Socialist Party whip. Next, he helped Ed the Red become leader of the Socialist Party. He resigned as a Socialist MP to become mayor of the Home People's Capital. He got to work quickly making the Home People's Capital more friendly to the faraway people. There were some cultural differences, to say the least. He said it was part and parcel, and the faraway people were our greatest strength. He said everyone was welcome, even the rainbow and the transformer people. But the home people got fewer, and they didn't like his decisions at all. He joined the other socialist leaders at the World Eradication Forum. He could finally make his dream come true and help the toolmaker's son take complete control. The home people couldn't believe what had happened to their country and wondered what would happen next.
Yeah, give him a follow. Good stuff. What else we got? Oh, I got some like just funny stuff for you. Inclusive zombies, bros. Oh, this is great. Thank you for sending me this. You know who you are. Bombaklad.
Me bomba. No man, up in do me question. Bombaklad, rich, millionaire, millionaire. Lucky man, Bombaklad. 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 How much egg you fry? 6. 6 bomber ass clad, pussy bomber blood clad egg. The bomber clad, them on the other side. Yeah, how them? Yeah, boy, man. Blood clad. Me bomber. No man, up in do me question.
Me bomber clad. Dude. Right. And speaking of Peterson, I should have put this after the Christ is King one.
Such an idiot, it's just hard to even imagine. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you give a man a rat, you satisfy his rat desire. If a rat plays Monopoly with another rat, and rats do that, by the way, like lobsters, the little rat will always lose. That just shows you whose side God is really on. Then the losing rat will yell at the big rat, because he's the big rat, which inevitably results in mass genocide, which is what a rabbit would do.
We got another super chat from Texas Man saying that he wallows coom. Well, good for you, Texas Man. That's great that you're finally coming out and expressing yourself in such a way. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'm sure you'll get much acceptance. Right, we got some like coffee stuff. Thank you to Say Days for sending me this.
Coffee? I am dead inside. Can I do a latte with oat milk? Can I get the one that won't make me shit myself? Can I just do a Vietnamese iced coffee? I'm trying to see God today. Yeah, can I just do an espresso? I forgot my Adderall at home, and you're my only hope. Yeah, can I just do an iced matcha? I don't even like this drink. I'm just on a date right now, and I'm trying to hit. I'll just do a cold brew. I feel bad for my coworkers, because I'm feeling chatty. I'll do a cappuccino. Yeah, I spent a weekend abroad. Nice frappuccino, you fat American. I'll just do one decaf, please. I'm a raging pussy. Yeah, I'll do a latte, but with whole milk. You already know who the fuck I voted for. Hey, man, can I just get a water? Can I get ice water? I just need that bathroom code, because I'm about to blow. Oh, actually, just a napkin. What's it with all these goddamn baristas with the pink hair? You look like a My Little Pony. What's the Wi-Fi code? I'm about to go. Whole milk, because I'm a whole American. The hell you filming me for, brother? Is this going on the WWE?
Sir, you need to leave.
Shut the fuck up. Can I get a refill?
And Monero Bros, can you confirm that this is what American coffee is like? Right, we got a bit of, gardening advice. Probably very useful.
You're burying a dead body in the garden. Remember, cover it in endangered native plants so that it's illegal to dig them up. Follow for more gardening tips.
Seems like good advice. What else have we got? Oh, this is good.
Oh, bingo.
Okay, here's one. How do you think the new record compares to your old classic stuff?
Oh, come on, Mikey. You know as well as I do, the record's crap.
Britain. We may be a small country, but we're a great one too. Country of Shakespeare.
White.
Churchill.
White.
The Beatles.
White.
Sean Connery.
White.
Harry Potter.
White.
David Beckham's right foot.
White.
David Beckham's left foot, come to that.
White.
And a friend who bullies us is no longer a friend. And since bullies only respond to strength, from now onward, I will be prepared to be much stronger.
Through the immortal genius of the Bay City rulers.
It's almost enough to make you feel patriotic. So here's one for our ass-kicking Prime Minister. I think he'll enjoy this. A golden oldie for a golden oldie.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Raffling King, I haven't checked Discord for a while, mate. I'll boot it up and get back to you. Thanks for letting me know. Right. This is really just stupid, but pretty awesome. I think this is from Texas Man's channel. USDA Prime Memes. You should check it out. All the primest grass-fed memes.
Busted down Beamer. I'm buying this thing for one reason and one reason only.
Sir, you haven't paid for the car yet!
Back away! That's the hood humper! Somebody call Vin Diesel! I came as fast as I could. Nobody messes with my dealership, especially my family's dealership.
I mean, that is, I gotta say, that is a bit suggestive. You know, but, I mean, who doesn't want a vagina car? I guess. Right, cute animals to finish off. Thank you to Sadie's, our official cute animal correspondent, for sending these. Thank you very much.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Why are you feeding a tiger a lion lettuce? What the fuck is wrong with you? I see all these like videos on the internet of fucking people feeding like vegetables to cats. I just want to give them a smack. So you're like, well, how would you like it? I know you can see me. This is cute. Aww. What else have we got? This is really cute.
Capybara, 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 capybara. Capybara, 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 capybara. Capybara, capybara.
Capybara. Counter Crisp, everyone knows it's Sadie who's holding it all together, and she keeps getting called cute animal correspondent. Well, she is, and also, of course, the glue that holds the show together. Just got a couple more cute ones to finish off, bros. Wish I had a golden retriever. They are so cute. Right, and our final cute animal video of the night. Enjoy. And that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I made it through, even with like the crappy internet and everything. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Say a quick goodbye to the chat. On Rumble, Cthulhu Loves You, Sadie Sapiente, Rat Fun King, Yiz the Eunuch, great to see you, Yiz. I think Yiz's show, Discord and Dragons, is starting in half an hour because of gay light savings. Go over and check it out. Total Blackout Painting, Captain Crisps, the Texas Man, of course. Who else we got? I think that's everybody on Rumble. Apologies if I missed anybody. I did mention Captain Crisps, didn't I? Yeah, it's, but it's a small and intimate gathering this evening. On YouTube, we have Budgie Burger, Streaky Bacon, Robert Verlinden, Otto Stormheart, 007, Stumbling. Thanks for super chats, Stumbling. Oh, and thank you, Texas Man, for your incredible super chats as well. Thank you very much, mate. Lynch Mob, 007. Anybody else? I think Linda Hunter was in there as well somewhere. And Evil Author 1776. Schrodinger's Gaffney, good to see you, mate. Anybody else? Streaky Bacon. And I think that's everybody on YouTube. And on Odyssey, MK, good to see you, mate. And Evola19. Right. Thank you so much for watching, bros. I'll be back on Thursday with another episode of Habbening TV. Hopefully I can sort out the graphics accelerator issues and it won't be too retarded. Otherwise, I will be back in my usual setup next Monday. Take care, everyone. Good night.